welcome back to Cask 529. I'm Brian.
And I'm Shona.
Today you'll see we've got a giant selection of bottles out on the bar top. Shona prepared a bottle and bond show for us. And
because today is what?
Bottled and Bond Day.
It is.
National holiday for us
absolutely.
bourbon drinkers, right?
Yeah.
So I prepared just a little bit of information. What exactly is bottled and bond? Well, bottled and bond, or sometimes you'll see it referred to simply as BIB, B-I-B, is a label for an American-produced distilled beverage that's been aged and bottled according to the government standards as specified in the Bottled in Bond Act of 1897. So, they've been doing it this way for a long time. To be bottled in bond, it must be the product of one distillation season, either January through June or July through December, by one distiller at one distillery. It must have been aged in a federally bonded warehouse under, of course, U.S. government supervision for at least 4 years and bottled at 100 proof or 50% alcohol by volume. The bottle's label must also identify the distillery where it was distilled and, if it's different, where it was bottled. Yep. And that is basically, in a nutshell, what bottled and bond is.
So basically a seal of quality for the bourbon that you're drinking.
With the seal of approval, right.
So if what I remember studying in the past is true about this, prior to this act going into effect, they were having some troubles with maybe the quality of whiskeys and stuff going out. And so they instilled this act to ensure
a standard. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So,
so I have set up a blind for you. We actually have 8 different BIBs in our collection.
Well, I'm glad you didn't pour all 8 of them.
We have done a BIB show previously. It's been several months ago. So I tried to get 4 brand new ones. And then there's 2 that we have had on a BIB show before.
And I'm going to say those probably the E.H. Taylor.
Correct.
And the Evan Williams.
No, and the 1792.
Oh, okay. 1792, okay.
So there's one that we have not had at all, and that's the Bardstown.
I'm looking forward to that one.
We've never had this new Riff on the show, but we've had it before. But brand new to the show. So okay. I just, honestly, it's kind of a blind to me as well because I did pour these. However, with 6 of them, I can't keep them straight of which is which. However, it's completely, blind for Brian because he didn't pour them. So I'm just going to go over them really quick. So the E.H. Taylor, it's a small batch bottled in bond from Frankfort, Kentucky. The mash bill is undisclosed, but it is $49.99. Okay. Now this is an allocated bottle here in Ohio. You can get it at the Buffalo Trace Distillery on certain days, select days for the drawing. And then the new Riff, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, bottled in bond, Newport, Kentucky. You and I actually picked this one up at the distillery, but it is available here in Ohio for $41.99. It is a sour mash with 65% corn, 30% rye, 5% malted barley, and it's aged for at least the 4 years.
Okay.
The Old Forester Whiskey Row Series, the 1897 bottled in bond, Louisville, Kentucky, goes for $51.99. Its mash bill is 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. Now, the one that I've never tasted is this Bardstown, and I'm super excited because it has wheat in it. So, perfect. Bardstown, Kentucky Straight Bourbon, bottled in bond, of course, Bardstown, Kentucky. 68% corn, 20% wheat, 12% malted barley, aged 6 years, and it goes for $49.99. Then we have Evan Williams, bottled in bond. Louisville, Kentucky, or Bardstown, Kentucky. It actually has both on here. And in this bottle here,
So that may be a case where it was distilled at one location and bottled at another.
but they're both theirs. Because both are on this bottle. So I'm not sure how
But they
that
would,
works.
even though they're both theirs, they would still have to disclose it because it was different locations.
Yeah, that's the only one we have that has the two different locations. So 78% corn, 12% malted barley, 10% rye, aged at least the 4 years, $19.99. This is the value bottle of the bunch.
It is, and that's not, I don't think you look down at it necessarily.
$17.92 bottled in bond, Bardstown, Kentucky. Very hard to find here in Ohio. So I'm not even sure if it really gets released much in Ohio. I know it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Very, very rarely. $51.99. The mash bill is undisclosed, so we know, of course, it's aged at least 4 years.
That's one of the ones that was store picked?
From West
in West
Virginia.
Virginia. Yep, we had some friends that got a couple different of the 1792s for us, and we weren't disappointed in any of them. So
No.
I guess the only wild card for us, the only two wild cards really, is the Bardstown, which I'm really anxious to try because I haven't had any Bardstown.
This is our very first, yeah.
And the new Riff, I haven't. You said we've had it. You had it at the distillery. The rest of it, I don't hate on any of it.
No, I don't hate any of it either. So I'm anxious to see how we line these up.
So this is a happy bottled and bond day, I guess.
It is, yeah.
And
I made it super happy of 6.
yeah, it could get ugly before it's over.
These are only 3/4 ounce pours, so
Okay.
I didn't
Oh, well.
give us, super big pours.
Okay, so we just start on the left.
Yeah.
I see their
Number
number.
1.
Okay.
Sweet on the nose, caramel, vanilla. That's really the flavors I'm picking up on this one.
Definitely sweet.
Very good.
Not super spicy.
No, has a little peppery
Yep.
at the end.
Little pepper at the end. I got a little, I'd say I probably got a little bit of the caramel and vanilla when it first hit my palate. It's got a really nice finish on it. Not a real harsh, but the pepper remains through.
You pick up a little bit of oak, a little bit of char.
Yeah, definitely a little bit of the oak. I got that early on.
Very good. Not disappointed with number 1.
Nope. Excellent. On to 2. Look at the legs, for lack of a better term. I can see them on my glassware.
I can see them on yours too.
Very viscous, I guess. I didn't really taste that though.
No, with all these being 100 proof, they. Did you hear him?
Rex is groaning and growling over there. Just really wants to be heard, that's all. Sweet again.
Sweet. This one, for me, isn't as pleasant on the nose as number 1 was. But it's very.
It's different than
Yeah,
one.
I'm not
for
picking up
me.
the vanilla and the caramel on the nose. It's more just.
I don't have the details like you do, but it's definitely different on the nose than one was. But sweet still.
Yeah, the nose is just okay for me on this one.
Not that 1 was crazy on the palate, but to me, 2 is a lot more mild.
It is mild. But it has a little bit of burn at the end. Not like spicy burn, but just kind of burn. That number 1 didn't have.
I get that, and it stays on my palate. It didn't go down my throat, the burn.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah, it's not a...
It stayed right there on my palate.
This one's just okay for me.
It's not awful. I do see the viscosity on the side of the glass like I did on 1. So similar in that regard, but of those 2, I would pick 1.
Yeah,
so far.
I mean, I can pick up a little bit of the caramel. It just kind of dies. I guess compared to number 1. I'm anxious to taste it going back the other way. Because I guess compared to number 1, that, you know, it's kind of...
Yeah, that's all you've got. So far, that's the only comparison you've got is 1 to 2. So once we get all the way to the other end, come back, see what it does then. But actually,
it's not bad. It's just not.
The finish, the longer it sits, the less desirable I feel like it is to me.
Again, not bad.
No.
I mean, I would definitely drink it, but it's... If you gave me 1, I would drink 1 over 2 right now.
Yeah, definitely. I'd agree with that.
Ooh. The nose on number 3 is right up there with number 1. It is a sweet...
Because I don't get anything at all off of it.
Oh, it's a nice, sweet nose. Definitely the caramels, the vanillas. I want to say a little bit of marshmallow.
As long as you're not getting buttered popcorn like Mike got off something.
Hey, I like that term, that usage.
Creative.
Wow. The nose on this one is really nice. This one's picking up more of that rye in it for me, like more of the pepper.
Yeah.
Finish and very sweet.
It was more up front. The rye was, like almost immediately.
Yeah, immediately. Now it's finished and sweet. Say a little bit of a cherry note or a dried fruit note, maybe more than a cherry note. But it's kind of fruity at the end.
I get more oak out of that one than I did the first 2.
Yeah. Right now, number 3 is a real strong contender of number 1. It's good.
I don't know. One is still 1 for me, but I'm torn on where I would put 2 and 3 at this point.
On to number 4?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Another sweet nose.
That's sweet, definitely.
This one really just reminds me of vanilla ice cream. Nice.
That one to me was really creamy. I kind of get that syrup consistency out of it.
Yeah, I'm picking up brown sugar.
Yep. Like a nice level of it. It's not too much. Vanilla.
Picking up the vanilla, the caramel. Not picking up any baking spices. No pepper, no clove.
No, it's really mild as far as that side of it goes. That's got a really nice finish.
Just the sweet.
Yeah, that's just a really mellow, sit on the porch in the evening.
The second sip, I had a lot more char in that one.
Yeah, that's a nice one there.
It is. That's very nice.
And normally we would call it quits there. But no, there's,
Overachiever here today.
but wait, there's more.
You know, it is such a pretty day here in Ohio. And it's still early afternoon when we're filming this. And so I figured we could film this and finish drinking the pours out on the porch while you're editing. And Rex and I could just sit there and finish my pours. Well, not Rex, I would be finishing them.
Well, Rex would. He'd try. He likes to sniff them.
Yeah, it's in the mid-60s here and sunny. And we've had nothing really but doom and gloom and rain for several weeks
It's
now.
been a typical
so very excited
Ohio.
about it.
Oh, central, southeastern Ohio winter.
Yeah.
Muddy, dark, dreary, gloomy.
All that good stuff.
Nothing to be excited about, really. So when we get a day where the sky's got some blue in it and the sun's shining and it's 60 degrees, we get excited.
Very excited.
Start looking at yard work.
Again, wow, another nice nose. Full of sweetness. Definitely
Really,
picking
with
up.
the exception of, was it 2?
Yeah, number 2.
That didn't have much of a nose. They've all been nice. I feel like that's going to be the sweetest.
This one's very, has a lot of vanilla. But there's another, I'm picking up another flavor. More of a fruity flavor in the nose.
You know, I think you're right. I was going to say it's heavy on the brown sugar, but that sweetness, I don't know. I think you're probably right. That sweetness is probably coming more from a fruit tone. But what? It almost has a little bit of like just a green table grape sweetness to it.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Grapes.
Yeah. That's a different one.
This enters your palate. Well, for me, enters it as char. I get the char note, and then I get
and it kind of spread itself through my whole mouth.
Yeah,
that char did.
It did. It kind of overwhelms at first with the char, and then as it's finishing, you get that caramel, the vanilla, and just a sweetness. It's a very sweet finish.
Yeah, it honestly, it doesn't finish anything like how it presents itself. Like there's not even a hint there at first that what's coming. That's a tough one there.
I really like how this one plays out in your mouth. Like it's, because at first when I first tasted this, I'm like, oh, that's really overbearing char.
But it's
then
quick.
it's so quick and it just Wow,
Yeah, that
it
char-
finished,
yeah.
and it's still like it's lingering, and it's a very nice, sweet, nice
Yeah,
finish.
I like that. I like that grape note
Yeah.
in there.
Oh, that one's good. I really, I really don't know which one that one is. But
So
I'm
far,
curious.
and I know we've had 5 out of the 6, but so far I wouldn't throw any of them out. 2 is,
Yeah,
I
2
think
right
2
now
might,
is my
I don't know, 2
least
might be
favorite.
dropping. 2 might really be dropping.
Yeah. However, it might taste completely different when we go
Yeah,
back
when
through
we go
'em.
back.
Number 6.
6.
Nose on this one's kind of bland. I'm not really picking up.
Yeah, it's similar to 2 as far as what I'm getting out of it.
Yeah, this one I can't say too much about the nose. It's just kind of picking up a little bit of something, but it's nothing that I'm going to say, ooh, yum. It's not unpleasant. It's not like a pure ethanol nose or anything like that. It's just,
So the creaminess in that one, like as soon as it hit my palate, it was there.
yeah, it's very,
And then it's kind of got a, this is going to be funny. It's kind of a warm, to me, a warm sweet tart. It's kind of sweet and tart, but yet that's covered up with the pepper.
yeah. I was getting ready to say this one was, honestly, I was getting ready to say,
No, I was at first, but it's interesting.
I have this lingering cherry note on my tongue now. But when it first enters your palate, it's kind of like the nose. It's just like,
Yeah,
but then it lingers.
that nose is not fair to what's in the glass, really, because the nose is boring. I really like that.
All right, so honestly, I was ready to kick this one off the list with the nose. Still, the nose isn't that wonderful for me, but second time around tasting it, I got the spice, got the oak, the char, and then it finished with a chocolate covered cherry note, like a dark chocolate covered cherry note.
At this point, without going back through them, I could almost put that all the way up to 1.
Not the number one,
Yeah, 1 or 2 for me.
but it doesn't have the nose. So for me, I don't know if I could put it at number 1 because it doesn't have the nose.
I get that. To me, though, the nose is not that important.
Because you can't smell.
Right. I mean, I get 2 simple things off the nose. And so for me, that's not that big of a deal.
Right.
Now, if it's bad, it's hard to get past that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I do, because I'm a big wine drinker. And if I am drinking a wine that the nose on it, the smell of it is so rancid,
Yeah.
I won't drink. I don't even care if the wine's super good.
Right.
If it smells like
A lot of times you won't even know if it is because you won't go any further than that.
No, absolutely not. And it's the same way with a bourbon. If I nose it and it's all ethanol, I'm not. I don't want it.
And that's where I'm at. If I get that, you're calling it ethanol, I'll call it gasoline. If I get that fume, we'll call it a fume because that's really what that is. If that hits my nose, it's hard to go any further than that.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I'm ready, but you ready to go back? And he's saying, you did this to us.
Can't get there if we don't get started.
You're right. We'll try and make this way quick as we can. He's irritated.
He's wanting to go outside.
You know,
That is so good on the palate.
Rex is a super smart chocolate lab. When I talk to him, I swear he knows exactly what I'm saying. And I told him as soon as we were done with the show, the filming, that we would go sit on the front porch. And he knows, I think he knows those words. And so he has been pouting ever since we came down here to the basement to film this show.
Yeah. And normally he enjoys coming down here when we do this.
I love the nose on this one too.
When you smell them, I'll drink them.
While we're going back through here, if you would, let us know your favorite bottled and bond bourbon. And if we don't have it, because the only other two that we have is the Heaven Hill bottled and bond, and I apologize because I know we have another one.
I honestly can't tell you what it is.
Oh, it's the old Bardstown
Okay.
is the other one.
So also, Shona had told everybody that we wanted to make a point of getting to the Ohio distilleries this year. So Friday night we went to Cooper's Hawk for dinner.
Major fail.
And she said, hey, let's go to High Bank when we get done. And I said, great, let's do it. When they started High Bank Distillery, they must have thought nobody would ever come there because there's zero parking.
It is in Columbus, the capital of Ohio, so there is, obviously limited parking everywhere.
Poor thought. went
Bryan
into
was so
that.
disappointed. I think he was so excited when I mentioned at dinner that we could go there. And so then we drove all that way to get there.
We'll get there.
We will.
We'll get there, and we'll go in the daylight. I mean, it was after dark when we got
it was
there.
raining.
So, and part of town we've never been to,
Yeah.
so you
The
couldn't
building
really see.
looked really nice though.
Yeah, it looked cool. It looked like
It
a
looked
great
really cool.
atmosphere.
And it was very, very packed inside. So that should tell you one thing.
Yep.
But
People like to drink. Is
I
that what
don't
it
know if
tells
we
you?
told everybody, but I did get us into the master blending class there on May 19th.
Oh, we got to learn where to park before
Yeah,
that.
you do.
Those are, all three of those are good. That number 4, I get a lot of coming back. I've got a lot of brown sugar in that.
Mm-hmm. That's my vanilla ice cream cone.
It's good.
Sprinkled with brown sugar. Crunchies.
He's staring. He's up where he can stare at us now and groan. I don't understand it. There's like no viscosity to that one. Is yours doing that? That's 4. Wonder why mine's doing that.
I don't know.
I was looking at that when we come through the first time.
I mean, a little bit, but not like yours.
Yeah, it's like my glasses. I know you'll never see this on camera, but it's like my glasses sweating inside where everything else has legs from the wine world. Well, I don't know what else to call them, legs.
Number 3, I know this might sound weird. I just got some like that smoked barbecue taste, like that. Not barbecue sauce, but that.
Right. Yeah,
It's smoky.
yeah, like whatever they use to smoke.
Yeah, like hickory or something. Like it's just, that makes me even like it a little bit more, I think. Because I love barbecue. Did you get it at all? Or, I mean, I haven't had anything, so I can't.
I did get a lot more smoke than I really have on any of them. But I can't put a flavor with it. But I can see where you're coming from, because I did get a lot more smoke coming back through than I think I got going.
Yeah.
And char, I got char with it too, so.
Hey, the nose on number 2 got a little bit sweeter. Still not much on it, but it's a little bit sweeter.
Palate's a little better.
It is.
I don't think it still doesn't pop like, really like any of the rest of them, in my opinion.
But it's finishing of a really sweet, dried fruit note.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer palate coming back.
Because I was ready to throw it completely out, but I don't know if I am now. This is going to be a hard lineup.
Yeah, it really is. I think having 6 of them is making it even harder.
I know.
You know?
I'm sorry.
Are you though? Are you?
Well,
I don't think so.
any chance I get to put in a 1792, I wanted to do that.
I get that. It's hard to turn your back on 1792.
And all of these, honestly, the second time through, they're really good.
And so the new Riff, I mean, we've had good experience with it. The old Forester, we've had great experience with it. The E.H. Taylor, and I'm probably going to be hated for this. It's not that it's a bad product. Like if we sat down and poured it by itself, where you knew what you were drinking,
By itself,
it's
yeah.
not a bad product, and it's not priced bad.
No, because we don't base secondary. We always get it at
$49 retail. So it's not priced bad. My only issue with that product is, aside from the fact that it doesn't really just blow you away, is it's hard to get, and there's so many things that we can spend $50 on that we can go into the store and pick up.
Mm-hmm. Right. We're only a few hours away from the distillery, though, so
Yeah.
we are lucky enough that we can get down there.
We can get down there. We can go down there for a 3-day weekend
Yeah,
and
and
get
get it.
almost everything they have.
But if we're on the West Coast, there's so many other options that you can get. If you can't get your hands on this, then
Yeah, it's
yeah.
like I said, and I said that. It's not that I don't hate the product. It doesn't blow me away, and for the price and the fact that it's really hard to get, it's just, I don't know, it's just okay, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Now watch, I'll either put it in first place or last place today.
Hey, the EH barrel proof that Mike had when you and Mark
Yes.
and Mike did the show,
Yeah, on
it
the
came
barrel
in
proof
first for
show.
me. It is awesome.
I think it came in second for me.
It came in first, and it probably would have even beat the what was the BTAC item that night? Because we've had a couple since then.
George T.
Yeah, George T. Stagg.
So, wow.
Now you gotta line them up, babe.
Yeah, that sucks. You know what? After we've had these other ones, are you doing a lineup?
I'm thinking, I'm looking at my
Thought
notes.
maybe you were just
I
gonna
wrote
leave them how they were.
notes during.
I was really hoping that when we came back through, that one would be awful to us, and it would make it simple for that one, but that didn't happen.
I think probably our lineup's going to mismatch so much because even though all of these were really good, to me, a couple of the noses were not great. So I cannot score them super high because...
Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine.
However-
Your nose on your ranking is a lot heavier than my nose.
Okay. So we are going to do your lineup first,
Okay.
and then we'll do mine. Because I know we're completely probably off.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
My number one is number 4.
I love you.
Evan Williams.
I love you.
$19.
Woohoo! $19.99.
Okay, so that's my
All
number
you're
one.
getting from now on.
My number 2 is number 3.
Ooh, the new Riff.
Then I go to number 5,
The Bardstown.
Bardstown, that was really good. Then number 6,
Old Forester.
then number 1,
Wait, yeah, Old Forester. Number 1 was 1792.
and then E.H. Taylor. That's number 2, right?
Yep.
So, like I say so many times, just because it's last doesn't mean I wouldn't drink it. This was a really tough one. When there's 6 of them, it's really tough. Number 1, it's tough to keep track of
It
what
is.
you're having.
That's why I took some notes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough to keep track, and there's so many that they start to run together because they're so
Right.
similar. So
And I want to say these were all very, very good.
they really are.
It's not, we would not turn away any of these if you poured us a glass of them.
No, I'm almost ashamed of myself picking Evan Williams as my first.
Don't fret. So my first place is number 3, which is the new Riff.
Perfect.
My second place is number 4, which is Evan Williams. My third place, this breaks my heart, is 1792.
Why does that break your heart?
Because I love 1792 products. I just love them. I thought it would come in first. My number 4 spot was the E.H. Taylor. My number 5 spot was Old Forester.
Wow.
Making my weeded bourbon that I thought for sure
Wow.
would come in higher. Number 6. Now again.
So this was actually number 5, is that correct? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So
Which was your number
my
3.
number 3, yeah.
Again, all of these are really good. To me, number 2, which was E.H. Taylor, and number 6, which was the Old Forester, did not have great noses on them. But they were really good.
Now, outside of this lineup, I think you mentioned that Heaven Hill was a bottled and bond.
Yes.
Previously, when we got that bottle and we tried it,
It was good. It was okay. It was
it
good.
was okay. It wasn't, for me anyway, it wasn't worth the hunt.
Yeah, I'm
for
not
me.
going to do cartwheels, and we can find it pretty much everywhere now.
Now, yeah, when we got it,
you
it was-
hunted it at first,
Yep.
and then all of a sudden you can get it.
Yep. Yeah, it's a lot easier to get now than it was, and that hasn't been that long ago. But
No. But the old Bardstown that we have, I believe you had to get that straight from the distillery. Elizabeth got me that one. It's delicious.
yeah, it
And
is
I didn't
really
put
good.
that in the lineup this time because we cannot do 8. 6 was more than enough for us, guys.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose if you get any of these. However, with Evan Williams coming in number 1 for Bryan and number 2 for me, obviously this $20 bottle,
Yeah.
go ahead and pick it up and put it on your shelf.
I mean,
because
what do you
it's
have
good.
to lose?
So Pete, thank you.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. And actually, I saw a show just this morning. A guy was like, if you had to have 3 bottles on your bar, what would those 3 be? And that was obviously one of them. So
$20.
$20, you can't go wrong. So I think, guys, that's all we've got for today.
It is.
Tonight.
So if you like what we're doing,
Hit the like button
the subscribe button,
and share us. Drop us a comment. Let
ring
us
that
know.
bell.
What was that?
Ring that bell.
Ring the bell. Okay, until next time, guys, thanks for joining us, and everybody be safe.
Thanks, everyone.